Welcome to Slapshot Podcast, episode number 88. I'm your host, Christopher Morais. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out. Just pick up a chair, come on in, put it down, grab your snack of choice. We got a lot of hockey to get to today. NHL playoffs are in full swing, baby. First round is over, second round about to start. We got a whole bunch to cover today, man. So we better strap in because like I said, we got stuff to do. What a fantastic first round of the NHL playoffs we have had up to this point. It's been great. The fantasy hockey gods, not fantasy hockey, just hockey gods in general, have given us a first round that was, I don't even think the script writers had that, but I'm glad that they came together, put something together. It has been fantastic. So we're going to dive into that. A little bit of Puckdoku today. We're also going to break down who I think is going to come out of the second round, both in the East and in the West. So like I said, ton of stuff to do today, ton of stuff to uncork, as you would say. If you are new here, you found yourself in here by accident, maybe on purpose, hey, I appreciate you. If you are watching on YouTube, youtube.com/@slapshotpod, go ahead, hit the sub button, ring the bell, okay? So you know when new episodes come up. While you're there, drop a like. It's free. Do so. You can follow the podcast on X @slapshotpodcast. If you click the link tree, you could also find it in an audio form if you enjoy listening to this on your morning commute, maybe on the toilet, maybe in the shower. Who knows? Wherever you enjoy this podcast, go ahead. You can follow there. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, everywhere you love it. You want to follow me on X @FuzzyChris91? You can. I promise I won't be. No, I can't promise that. I was gonna say I promise I won't be unhinged in the second round, but like I truly can't promise that. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff today. We're gonna start as we always do with the news, okay? Because there's things that happen here at this point. We're gonna get to a couple of the just quick notes here from what's happened since the last time we have spoken to each other. Because I know it's been a minute. We're going to do one of these podcasts before each and every round. That's it. That's the best way to do it. So, you know, if these teams can wrap this up a little bit quicker, then we'll probably have more of these episodes here. But like I said, we got a lot to get through today. Sidney Crosby, Nathan MacKinnon, and get this, Marc-Andre Fleury, all three are going to represent Canada at the World Champion. I love it, man. Usually these guys are not used to being available for this tournament, specifically Crosby and MacKinnon. But it is great. So Sid gets to be back with MacKinnon. We know they played at the Four Nations. Fleury was expected to play his final game, and then he's like, hey, why don't I go to the World Champion just for fun? And he gets to play with Sid again. So the vibes right now for that team is going to be off the chart. I would also take the over on Marc-Andre Fleury pranking Sidney Crosby. Like, it's going to happen. It's not a question of if, right? It's a question of when. I can't wait to see that. But good for that. I'm hoping maybe some other guys show up. Nick Suzuki still waiting for medical clearance from the Montreal Canadiens, see if it's willing to go. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe, Nate, you bring Cale Makar. Thoughts? You know, maybe drag him in there. I don't know. Would be a good idea. Also, big news out of LA. We'll get to them in a little bit. The LA Kings have parted ways with Rob Blake. They I guess they need a new general manager. They need new leadership there as well. So he gets the door. The LA Kings fell apart in absolute dramatic fashion. I had them coming out of the first round. And listen, am I surprised that the LA Kings got eliminated? No, because Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl play hockey for the Edmonton Oilers. So betting against them usually ends poorly, and kind of did. So, but the Kings, I don't know, man. It was not a good showing for them. They had this series, and then they proceeded to be a hot mess. Some finalists for some trophies. The Lady Byng Trophy, Anze Kopitar, Jack Eichel, Braden Point. Three very deserving players. If I had to pick one from that gang, probably Jack Eichel. Just seems like the Uh, I would say consensus. All three players have been very good. Jack Eichel, I guess it's more of the offensive production and how good he is defensively and how far he's come, right? Like Jack Eichel is now a very good two-way player. Doesn't take a lot of penalties either. So to me, that's who I would give it to. But thank God I don't vote. The Selke Trophy nominees have been put out as well, to the surprise of absolutely nobody. Alexander Barkov is there. Sam Reinhart is there as well. Anthony Cirelli is there as well. Good for all three. I'm not going to take anything away from those three gentlemen, okay? But no Nick Suzuki here. Kind of, again, we're throwing shade at a top 10 centerman in the NHL, okay? I know some of you don't want to hear this. But Nick Suzuki, you cannot pick 10 centermen in the NHL right now over Nick Suzuki. You can't. You can try, right? You can do so. You can at me if you want and put together a list of 10 centermen that you think are better, a complete player than Nick Suzuki. It cannot be done. But again, you can waste your time if you want to. The disrespect is just, we will not tolerate it here on Slapshot Podcast. We will not tolerate any Nick Suzuki hate because he is elite and he's a one center. So now you know. Jack Adams, Scott Arniel, well-deserving. Spencer Carberry, of course. Marty St. Louis. Those are great candidates, man. Listen, I think this goes to Spencer Carberry. The year that the Capitals had the Jets, we knew were going to be good. They were dominant. Yes, we'll get to them a little bit later in the first round recap here. But man, really, really good. But what Carberry was able to take with this team and bring it to where they are now, can't take it away. But good for Marty St. Louis for getting recognized, though. It's been a process for him, right? To take a young hockey team, get them to believe in themselves, and push them to this point. Yes, they lost in the playoffs. Yes, they got eliminated in 5, but they didn't get blown out in any of those games. They were there. Just the better team ended up winning, right? The Hart Trophy candidates have also been mentioned here. Leon Draisaitl, shocked to absolutely nobody. Connor Hellebuck, also a shock to nobody. Nikita Kucherov, also not a shock to anybody. This is an award that's voted on in the regular season. So I'm going to give it to Connor Hellebuck. And I would not, there's nothing wrong if you want to give it to Leon Draisaitl. He scored the most goals this season. I don't think nobody had Leon Draisaitl leading the NHL in goals. But it's just a testament to what he can do when he wants to do it. He's exactly like McDavid. When McDavid decided he was going to score goals, he did. Nikita Kucherov has been consistent. He is consistently elite. He led the league in points again. He just doesn't stop. I don't think he gets enough recognition for just how elite. This is I would say, a generational player as well. But that's not the conversation we have around Nikita Kucherov. And he's got the rings to back it up. He's got the awards. He's probably one of the best Russian players to ever play the game. So good for him. And again, Connor Hellebuck, nothing short of great this regular season. Nothing short of great. Just because of how elite he was and how hard it is to be a goalie in the NHL. Like, without him, I don't think the Jets are where they are. So give it to him. Finally, just a quick one here. Mike Sullivan was let go by the Penguins and then immediately found a job not too long after. He is heading to the Big Apple. He will coach the New York Rangers because they let Laviolette go. I mean, the Penguins, who knows what they need. But I guess this is good for the Rangers. They're going to keep recycling veteran coaches, but I don't know if that's going to change that team too much. We'll see, but Mike Sullivan, a great coach. Same thing, Stanley Cup winner. Good for him. Good for him here, right? So, there you go. Good for him. All right. That is the news. That's just like, look, there's so much news to get to. We couldn't get through everything, okay? These are the bullet points. We did not too bad here. Let's get to something I know all of you want to watch. Okay. We didn't do it last week because we didn't have enough time, but we're going to do it this week. Okay. We're going to play Puckdoku, of course. All right. Of course we are. We're going to play Puckdoku. Also because I think I can solve this. That's main reason is because I think I can solve this. So if you have no idea how Puckdoku works, let me explain it to you extremely quickly today on the X and Y axis here. So we got to find a player that matches, the description here. So we got to find a player that's, played for the Red Wings and as well for the Rangers, right? Red Wings, Capitals, team captain, Canadiens, Rangers, et cetera here. So we got a lot of things to do here. On the X-axis, right, we have the Rangers, the Capitals, and a captain. On the Y-axis, we have Detroit, the Canadiens, and 100 PIMs in a season. Let's start with the Montreal Canadiens one because this one's going to be good. Listen, if I don't put Scott Gomez here, I feel like we'd be missing out. Yeah. I mean, Alexei Kovalev could have worked as well. I can't put. Some of you are going to get caught here. Ryan McDonough didn't play a game with Montreal Canadiens, so strap in here. Right here, a lot of you forget Jose Theodore was a Capital for a brief period of time. I could have gone Lars Eller here as well. I didn't. Team captain again because some of you are just. I don't care about the uniqueness here. Just remember that Nick Suzuki is elite, okay? Some of you are forgetting. I don't like that, okay? Let's do the Detroit across here. Team captain, let's go with Steve Yzerman. I mean, there's, again, greatness is great. Some are born great. Some achieve great. Some have greatness thrusted upon them. Steve Yzerman was a great player. I don't know about him as a general manager, but that's a conversation for another day here. Let's go to, I got to go, this one I feel is going to be a little bit harder. 100 penalty minutes in a season. I got to start fighting some guys who are not very disciplined. I don't know why this guy. That's what I was trying to spell it. Darius Kasparaitis is wrong. So, right off the rip, he clearly did not have 100 pins in a season. That's unfortunate. Here was my second guess. This was not fun. I thought I was going to solve this. I didn't. Well, yay. My second thought was going to be Jacob Trouba, which was also wrong. Okay. 100 penalty minutes in a season and who played with the Rangers. Here's my third for team captain penalty minutes. I was going to put Jerome McGinley, who also didn't. This has been one of the worst Puckdokus right now. After a blazing start, I have fallen apart on the 100 penalty minutes in a season. Did Aaron Asham play for the Rangers? He did not. I am shocked, guys. I'm just falling apart here. Brooks Orpik? Negative. Okay, so we only got 4 today. We got 5 wrong in a row. Let's just remove this one from our memory, okay? Let's just remove this one. Patty Kane, Mike Green. It would have taken me a minute to get those. Sean Avery, Tom Wilson, and Zdeno Chara. I should have gotten this. I should have solved it. Yeah. That was my bad there. How did I not get Tom Wilson? I didn't do very good here. I only got 4. 124 people got 4. What were some of the other options here for captains? Brady Tkachuk, Mark Messier, Scott Stevens, Sidney Crosby at 100 penalty minutes in a season. Chris Pronger, Radko Gudas. You're right. Okay. What about for the, what about here? Dale Hunter, Donald Brashear. These were also good. Craig Berube would have never got that one. Ty Domi. Ty Domi played for the Rangers, apparently. Mark Messier. Yeah, I would have not gotten it. Colton Orr, Adam Graves, Matthew Barnaby, Brandon Prost. Okay. So look, that did go well. So let's remove that from our memories, okay? Let's get that one removed. Okay, that was tough. Oh boy. Oh man. I came in with too much confidence here, guys. Came in here way too much confidence. All right, let's review quickly the first round, okay? Because that was something. That was something. Listen, let's start in the East, okay? Because I feel like the West is going to take us forever. Toronto gets over Ottawa 4-2. I mean, listen, I picked the Leafs to come out of that series. So when they went up 3-0 and then they were down, down one and they lose another, right? I get we're a little bit nervous here, but I saw people burning jerseys, right, after game 5. And I'm like, it's not that deep yet. You know what I mean? But give Toronto credit. They came out on the road. Willie Nylander on his birthday. Listen, you can talk about the core four all you want. Willie Nylander is the guy who performs, though, when he shows up. He does. Tampa Bay, Florida, I did not have that series being the absolute bloodbath that it was. But the Tampa Bay Lightning they ran out of healthy bodies, man. They ran out of healthy bodies. The Florida Panthers are going to be a force, though. If you don't think this team is serious, they are. I know Tampa Bay was dealing with a bunch of injuries. It's unfortunate, but lots of teams do, right? Lots of teams deal with injuries. It is what it is. But Tampa Bay now, I mean, they haven't gotten out of the first round in 3 years? I know it's not cause for concern. There was some talk about maybe John Cooper not coming back, which was stupid because he's like an elite coach. Tampa Bay may just be a little bit more on the decline. There's nothing wrong with that. You can't be a dynasty forever. This team went to the Stanley Cup Finals 3 years in a row, winning 2 of them. It is what it is. So, yeah. Better luck next year, Tampa Bay. The Washington Capitals obviously got by the Montreal Canadiens. I've stopped crying. Listen, the Montreal Canadiens kept this series close. They did. And, Logan Thompson was the story of it. He was really good at this series. Montreal did generate enough scoring chances. When Montembeault got hurt, that clearly changed the series, right? And it's not to say that Jakub Dobes wasn't good. I mean, to be fair, homie's a child, right? He was being thrusted into quite the position. So, but I think it speaks to how good Sam Montembeault is. And I know sometimes he doesn't get the respect that he deserves. I think he played too much hockey, right? Because when he's like, hey, he had 2 tears in his groin. And you're like, well, that isn't good. And when you look at the movement that he made where you think he got injured, it's not much. So I would like to see him play a little bit less hockey next year so he's ready for these opportunities when they come. But again, credit to the Washington Capitals, man. Montreal Canadiens were beat up as well, but Tom Wilson did what he needed to do. Alexander Ovechkin was fantastic, right? Give him credit. That whole Washington team was good. Montreal Canadiens, again, yes, it's a good learning experience. Maybe they probably deserve more than being outed in 5, but they'll be back here. As a Habs fan, it was, it was playing with house money this year. Nobody thought we'd be here. Then, lo and behold, we showed up. So, good for them. Carolina and the New Jersey Devils, look, I don't think anybody's shocked to see the Carolina Hurricanes make it out. The Devils just banged up, man. They couldn't stay healthy. That back end kept getting hurt. They were already banged up heading in. And then they got hurt more, and they couldn't survive it. They couldn't survive it. They tried, but in the end, it wasn't enough. So that was probably the series I watched the least of on the East side, Carolina, New Jersey. I mean, it's hard living in Canada to not watch the Leafs and Sen when it's the Battle of Ontario. Not going to lie. Like, Sportsnet shoved it down our throats to make sure we knew when they played. But it was great. It was great. But that was, the Eastern Conference was good. The West, though, was an absolute chaos, man. That was chaos. Let's start with Vegas and Minnesota. Okay. I had Minnesota coming out of there. Vegas got the job done when they needed to get it done. As simple as that, man. Maybe next year for Minnesota, but I think for the Wild, they're going to be just fine. They ran into, again, one of the better teams in the NHL. I was worried about Vegas's road record. Clearly, that didn't happen in the playoffs. They stood around and did what they needed to do. So, good for them. LA and Edmonton. I mean, somebody has to explain this to me like I'm 4. Because LA they win both games at home and then proceed to be just absolute dog shit in the next 4. Edmonton makes the switch, right? Stuart Skinner is a bum. There's no two ways around it. And I said this on X, right? It is a shame that Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, generational talents, and the team has provided them with Stuart Skinner and Calvin Pickard as the goaltending. Was Calvin Pickard better? Yes. But that wasn't a tough bar to surpass. But again, when you have Leon Draisaitl and Connor McDavid, good things will happen. But the secondary scoring as well was important here for Edmonton. They got contributions from, the rest of the lineup. Evander Kane made a difference, right? Corey Perry, those guys still make a difference. And you say what you want about the blue line. Say what you want about Evan Bouchard as well. It's a love-hate relationship with Evan, right? Because on one end, he could be terrible defensively. And then on the other end, he can score goals. So the LA Kings missed their opportunity here. They had multiple games where they held leads and they just couldn't finish it out. And you can't give the best players in the world opportunities to win games because they will. So shame on the Kings, man. It's just absolutely blasphemous here. I guess we'll do Dallas, Colorado, man. Damn. Listen, when you're up 2-0 in a game 7 on the road, you gotta lock those up. And I mean, what have we not said about Mikko Rantanen? By the way, Mikko Rantanen is tied in playoff scoring, okay? And he has 12 points. 10 of them came in the last 3 games of that series. Mikko Rantanen is elite. There's no question about it, man. And sometimes we talk about, it's not worth to pay certain players and whatnot and go get value and stuff. But it was something to watch Colorado let Mikko Rantanen walk for what I guess seems like peanuts, right? And this is no shade at Marty Necas, by the way, because he is a very good player. And he's been very good since he showed up in Colorado. But he's not Mikko Rantanen, right? And when you need the best player to take over, that's what they do, right? Let's not forget, Dallas did not have Jason Robertson in the first round. They didn't have their best forward in the regular season. They didn't have their best defenseman, Miro Heiskanen, and they still got past the Colorado Avalanche. And the Colorado Avalanche, good team. They went out. They overhauled that team on the fly, and they made themselves competitive, and I thought they could. I didn't think Dallas's road game was good enough. Lo and behold, they were fine. Colorado gave them a fight. Colorado had the edge. Nate Dogg was, again, leading the squad, but it just sucks, man. Peter DeBoer now 9-0 in Game 7s. Jared Bednar is what, 0-8? I mean, you just can't. Sometimes you got to exercise demons, and for whatever reason, Peter DeBoer just doesn't lose. In a game where you absolutely need to win, he doesn't lose. So that was a tremendous series. I watched a lot of that series, and it was fantastic. And then we got Winnipeg, St. Louis, right? And Winnipeg advances despite no Mark Scheifele in the lineup. Josh Morrissey gets hurt in Game 7, which went to double overtime, which included a game where Connor Hellebuck was off to a miserable start. Dallas advanced without their top scoring forward and their top defenseman. And then Winnipeg said, hold my beer. I'll do you one better. I'll do it with the same thing, one of our top goal scorers in Mark Scheifele. I'll do Josh Morrissey gets hurt. So now you play 5 defensemen in a game that goes into double overtime. And we'll do it as well with Connor Hellebuck, who just, man, when the playoffs show up, homie just doesn't understand how to get it done. And yet the Jets, I was sitting on the sofa watching that game. And like I not jumped, but I popped forward when they scored because I couldn't believe what happened. And it's nice to see Cole Perfetti get it done. It's nice for the city of Winnipeg, man. Absolute heart-crushing loss, though, for St. Louis. They deserve better. They truly did. I don't think many people gave them a chance in this series, myself included. And look, they were right there. And the Jets move on, and they live another day. And we'll see how that goes. But that was... I mean, it is tough to win a playoff series when your top goalie gets pulled in a game, not once, right? He got pulled in 3 different games. And then, St. Louis is up 2-0, and you're like, man, this is, and then just 3-1, and you're like, that's wild, man. I don't know what Connor Hellebuck needs, but he needs a sports psychologist, I think, for the playoffs. He is so bad when it comes. And there's even talk about he may not lead Team USA at the Olympics next year, which will lead us, I guess we'll lead into the second part here of our show here. Okay. Let's do just now the second round. Let's pick some winners, okay? Let's stay on the West. We start on the East Coast, stay on the West here, okay? Winnipeg and Dallas. Now, I'm excited for this game. I'm excited for the West. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, listen. I had the Winnipeg Jets in the last episode, right? When I did the full breakdown, I had the Winnipeg Jets winning the Stanley Cup. They might not win it, but keep it a stack with you. I think this series goes 6 at least, and I think Dallas is going to take care of business. I think Dallas takes care of business, even if they don't get Jason Robertson and Miro Heiskanen back, which I think Heiskanen is closer than Robertson. I think offensively, Dallas will be fine. But right now, it's a question of goaltending, and I just don't think Connor Hellebuck can solve it. Like, Dallas is just so much better and deeper offensively than the Blues are. And, like, who knows how long Morrissey's going to be out. Who knows how long, Scheifele's going to be out. If your best player isn't your best player, what does it matter? Kyle Connor did everything he could. He's tied with Rantanen. The 2 highest point getters in the first round are going to face off now. I am excited to watch this series. I have it going 6. I'm going to take Dallas in 6. Okay? Write it down. Because again, I just want you to know, I understand the first round. I didn't get them all right. It happens. This time, though, the second round, though, 100%. Okay? I'm getting it all right. It's 100% right. Not up for discussion. Okay? New round, getting it all right, though. Vegas and Edmonton. This one is going 7. Okay? Shock. I'm going to give it to Vegas, man. I didn't learn my lesson in the first round. I didn't learn it. Because I'm going to bet against Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. Vegas is the better team overall. Let's not get it twisted. Okay. I think Adin Hill could step up his game a little bit. I think that Edmonton will not be able to overcome their goaltending. It's just, if you don't so what do you do now? Like, you basically have to run Calvin Pickard out there. You cannot turn to Stuart Skinner. You could if you want to. But what does that say to Pickard? He has earned this now. Whether you like it or not, this is where we're at. Edmonton's depth was good in that first round. I just think the Kings were exceptionally poor at defending on the road and at home, for that matter. I know Vegas wasn't as good in the regular season, but they were much better in the first round. Against Minnesota, their road game was good. There were some moments where it wasn't perfect, but I think this will be, some of you are thinking it's going to be low-scoring affairs. I don't think so. Definitely not. Listen, I have no faith in Edmonton's goaltending. Let's get that straight, okay? I filled the wallet up betting the over in the LA Kings Edmonton series. The books kept giving us 5.5 and 6 totals. I was like, all right, I'll take it. I'll take it. There you go. Put a lot of gas in my car, which I don't need because I drive an electric one. So I bought more treats from Milo. He's a winner too. But no, I think Vegas I think this will be a back and forth series because no matter what, McDavid and Draisaitl are going to drag this team as far as they can. The only thing they can't do is play goal. So I think it goes 7. And if that is the case, Vegas is the better team. So they win it. Again, I'm not wrong because this is 100% correct prediction. Okay. Let's go to the East now. Okay. Lock in here. Washington, Carolina. This is a 7-game series as well. Okay. 7-game series. Carolina takes it. It's nothing against Washington. Nothing. I think this Carolina team is well built from the back end out. And both these teams had, I wouldn't say an easy first round, but their opponents didn't necessarily have a ton of offense to generate. The Carolina Hurricanes are extremely well structured. Right? Washington wasn't really good on the penalty kill in that first round. Montreal was able to find some space. I think Carolina can create more chances. I think their depth is pretty good. Defensively, they're also good. Washington, I'm just not sure yet. Not buying it. There were times, again, I watched every game that they played against the Canadiens, right? There were at times where Washington didn't really look that great. I don't know if Washington's going to be able to bully the Carolina Hurricanes around as much. I don't think so. I think this will be a toss-up, though. I think this is a 7-game series. I'm just going to give the edge to Carolina here. If I had to pick one, Carolina is the team that I want to pick. Close series, though. This isn't going to be one that's going to be done, in 4 or 5 here. I don't have that. I have Carolina, though. Definitely. Again, I'm not wrong. I just want to reiterate that because some of you are going to get confused later in my mentions. So, and then last and certainly not least, we have gone now Toronto and Florida. Hello. I will, of course, be watching this a little bit, right? This game is on Monday, depending on when you watch this. You'll already know what happened. But Toronto and Florida, let's not get it twisted. Listen, I said nice things about Toronto Maple Leafs in the first round. I'm not saying it in the second round. Florida in 5. In and out. Done. I know you don't want to hear it, Leaf Station, but the Florida Panthers are an absolute wagon, okay? This team is deep. They are tough to play against, okay? They got a little nasty to their game. And they definitely have the better goalie. Okay. Anthony Stolarz, really good in the first round. Really good. He played up to his potential of what he needed to do, because there were times where, yes, the Leafs were winning games, but they were winning games because Ottawa couldn't stop the puck. Toronto wasn't necessarily, they weren't the clear-cut better team in their series against Ottawa every night, whereas Florida was. Florida was the better team every single night against Tampa Bay, which is something, right? The Leafs also, I don't think they have the physicality to keep up here. I really don't. I mean, Ryan Reeves is irrelevant at this point, right? Florida has a lot of, I mean, look. Aaron Ekblad deserved his suspension, okay? Because you can't put a forearm into Brandon Hagel's, skull and think you're going to get away with it. But, Bennett's part of this team. And then you got Brad Marchand, who's still around. And Florida's defense core is pretty good. Yes, I know Toronto has 3 former Panthers on their teams right now. I don't think that's going to matter. It's not going to matter. They're like, oh, they have some playoff experience. Buddy, wait. The Florida Panthers have playoff experience, by the way. They have Stanley Cup experience as well. The Toronto Maple Leafs have made it out for the first round now. I don't know, 2 times in 3 years. Look at you go, Leafs. Hey, look at you guys. Good job. Good for you. The Panthers are a wagon. They are tough to play against. Bobrovsky is better than Stolarz. The Leafs do not have a single advantage in this series. There's not a single spot where you're like, yeah, Leafs are better. They don't have the better goaltending. They do not have the better defense core. Okay. I thought Toronto's defense wasn't great. The Ottawa Senators had a lot of good chances. Stolarz was just a lot better than Linus Ullmark. Offensively, yes, the Leafs may have more skill, but that skill seems to disappear at times. Florida is a better two-way team. And just as I said the first time, the Florida Panthers will go as far as Matthew Tkachuk takes them. Okay? Matthew Tkachuk is the straw that stirs that drink. He can do a little bit of everything. And if you don't think he's going to get under the skin of the best players on the Toronto side, you're going to get twisted. And then you got to deal with Marchand. And then you got to deal with Sam Bennett. You got to deal with the whole roster, basically. Right? Barkov and Reinhart are nominated for the Selke, 2 of the best two-way players in the NHL. I don't think that's wrong. So, what are the Leafs going to do here? There's no way. There's no way. The Leafs don't have enough to get past the Florida Panthers. They ran into the wrong team, man. I don't care. Watching the way Florida played against Tampa Bay was you could tell which team was better. There was no question about it. Yes, the Leafs got out of the first round. But it wasn't the most convincing way. Toronto's got good players. I don't think they can keep up with the physicality. And if you start to get pucks deep and wear that Leafs defense core down, you're going to get your opportunities, man. You're going to get them. You are. You can get it. And those guys up front, man, they're not throwing their weight. I'm not looking at guys like Matthews and Marner and Nylander and Tavares start throwing their weight around. That's not their game. It's not their game. And I think that Florida has enough. I think they have enough as a group to contain that offense. And then once that Leafs offense dries up from their 4 best players, I don't think the depth can keep up. Florida's depth is so much better than Toronto's depth. It's not even a question. So I'm going to take Florida here in 5. Okay? So let's recap here in case you got lost. Write this down. Okay? Winnipeg, Dallas in 6. Vegas in 7. Carolina in 7. Florida in 5. Do we understand? Excellent. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the podcast for today. Listen, as always, thank you for hanging out with me. We're just gonna do, like I said, we're gonna do a podcast before the start of every round, right? That's where we're at this point in life. That's where we're at this point of the year. Just a little bit left. It's May, it's starting to get nice. Go enjoy the weather if it's nice, but make sure you enjoy playoff hockey, of course, okay? So the next episode will come out just before round 3. If you don't want to miss any, you head over to the youtube.com/@slapshotpod. Hit the sub button, ring the bell, and you'll know exactly when this episode like this one goes live. Same thing if you're getting it on the audio. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Hit the follow or whatever button there. Turn on notifications so it gets downloaded straight to your device and you know when a new episode is up. All right? Follow me on X @FuzzyChris91. Let's trash talk the Leafs together, all right? Let's do it as a group. Or follow the podcast on X @SlapshotPodcast. Tell me how right this bracket is. Help me with Puckdoku. Please, I'm begging you. I need help. That was terrible today. All right? Thanks for hanging out with me. I love you. I appreciate you. We'll talk to each other again soon.